The Huion KAMVAS 13 is a device that has me considerably debating on whether or not Wacom really will stay at the top of the food chain in regards to drawing displays. You got yourself portable design, ease of use, a great pen, and most importantly, an affordable price, and a very affordable one at that. In today's review, everything is going to be revolving around my drawing and animating experience using a budget device. So here I would like to introduce the Huion KAMVAS 13. Let's dive in. However, I would like to give you guys a quick disclaimer. This product was sent to me over for review free of charge. However, in this review, you will be getting nothing but my honest opinion on the matter, as that wouldn't be fair to any of you guys. So that said, let's move on to the unboxing. The unboxing is actually pretty awesome here, and it's just a heads up. And first up, you're just going to cut through the lid and to finally reveal the KAMVAS 13 itself, take it out of the bag, and take a look at all of the accessories underneath. You will find an adjustable stand, some instructions, a USB-C cable, and a breakout USB cable that connects to two USB-A ports and HDMI, an extension for that cable, a USB-C to USB-A cable, an extra set of gloves, and the stylus itself, the pedestal for it, a couple of extra nibs, and a microfiber cloth along many things. I think that it's needless to say here that this unboxing is pretty awesome. The design of this product is going to consist of plastic for the majority of the build. And it's light, but it's going to be pretty hefty and it does feel pretty sturdy in hand for what it is too. I'm just really happy that they didn't compromise on the build quality here in spite of the price tag. And it's pretty thin and it's pretty easy to travel along with, so honestly I'm very happy in regards to the exterior of this product in general. Now, the stylus itself is actually going to be pretty great. It's lightweight, but it's very comfortable thanks to its rubberized handle, and it's actually got two remappable buttons that are fairly clicky and responsive. And you got the base for the stylus too, and it's for when you're not using it, and inside you've actually got about 8 to 10 replacement nibs, which are going to come in handy, especially if you're going to be using this product quite a lot. In terms of its display, this device features a 1920 by 1080 display. This is a matte screen, and it's got tons of resistance on the top surface. This display doesn't really get all that bright. I was surprised to see just so many options for this display in regards to contrast, brightness, and the backlight, etc. Like, you can even adjust the sharpness if that's something that you're into, and I think that that's pretty neat. Though, the drawing test will be coming very soon in this review, so stay tuned for that, obviously. This device features 8 fully remappable buttons, which you can remap to pretty much any keyboard shortcut, and it's got 2 USB-C ports on the other end. And there's also just a power button, but this tablet gives you the essentials and more. And finally, it's really gratifying to see the budget tablets actually adapt the USB-C type of technology, and I really like that, and the industry should really keep that into consideration. As for software, Huion's own suite is where you would do all of your calibrating and remapping for any of the buttons. And it's very intuitive and easy to use. One reason why I mentioned that I really like USB-C is because you literally only need one cable to power this entire tablet, and that's just going to be that one USB-C port, and it's not even going to be a Thunderbolt 3 port. And that is impressive, like just considering how much power actually has to go into that tablet. It is honestly quite impressive. And if you're using a laptop, it doesn't exactly drain really all that much energy, so I'm very appreciative for that. Like, it's an ideal travel companion to use along with your laptop or to take to school or to work or anything like that. It's been a very good experience there. And now let's get into actual performance. For these tests, I used Sketchbook Pro, and I also equipped the little included glove. I was surprised with how intuitive this tablet actually is to use on a day-to-day basis, thanks to the stand, which is an optional accessory. It really does complete this product overall. I would strongly advise that you end up investing in that stand too, if you end up going for this model, as it really makes it just more comfortable for using after long periods of time. Like, that stand will save you a lot of carpal tunnel issues. I would highly recommend that. And anyway, Drawing on it feels pretty comfortable, and that's because it features a matte display, and it's super easy to glide around from one corner to another, like just using the included stylus, and you don't really need any other types of tools in order to make that happen, even if this little glove does actually help a little bit in getting that across. Even though there is quite a lot of resistance on this display, which might make it a little bit tough to move around comfortably right off the bat, but once you get used to it, it's actually quite nice and makes the experience feel that much more genuine, in my opinion, as it feels like you're drawing on paper for the most part. So I do really like drawing on this tablet, in spite of everything I mentioned. And performance in animating is actually pretty similar here too. And this display, again, allows for very precise lines overall, as you do get 8,192 levels of pressure, sensitivity, or pressure levels across the board, which is actually pretty damn high, and I really like that. And so I don't have any issues sustaining my line work and keeping it pretty precise. And again, because this display has so much resistance to it, kind of feels like drawing on pretty thick paper, which is more of a learning curve in my opinion. But once you get used to it, it is a godsend to actually have, and you never want to go back to any of those glossier screens, as it's just so much nicer to draw on a matte screen overall. I really like this, and I think that more manufacturers should keep that into consideration too, as it really does help. However, I would like to address some things that I would like to see improved with any future versions of this tablet. For one, I wish that this display could get a little bit brighter. This is likely due to the fact that it's only powered through your host device using a USB-C cable or the breakout cable, depending on your device. So that's likely why it can't get too bright, and that's okay, honestly. However, it being a matte screen kind of fixes that issue, because I can see the content on it just fine in spite of how bright it might be in the room. And also, while I do appreciate having all that resistance on the screen, it would be nice if they toned it down just a little bit, as it just makes it a little bit more difficult to keep up to speed. It would just make it a little bit less of a learning curve, and it would help me pick up speed much more quickly overall. And just gliding around, it would help a lot with that using the stylus of the screen. The screen had just a little bit less resistance overall. However, and now don't get me wrong here, I really like this feature, and I think that it's super useful. However, just maybe bring it down one notch or so, and that would help quite a bit. It would just make things a little bit easier overall. And also, I do wish that the display settings would be on Huion's own software, because fiddling around with the buttons was honestly quite a bit of a chore, and I would rather avoid that moving forward. However, the adjusting of the screen isn't something that you do have to do all that often. At the very least, I haven't had to, so it doesn't really bother me all that much, but having those options available on the software itself would just make it a lot easier to make other changes on the fly, instead of having to go back and reference the menu for any kind of directions for that. But that's it. Huion nailed it here. They've introduced me to a budget line of drawing monitors that are super endearing, and I can't wait to test more of the drawing displays moving forward. You got a proper, fully portable, and powerful drawing monitor that has a lot of premium features and is really tough to beat at this price tag, in my opinion. And if this is your budget, highly recommended. You almost really can't go wrong here. So honestly, huge thumbs up from me. And if you're interested in purchasing this tablet, then I will be making sure to leave affiliate links to Amazon in the description. And if you end up using any of my links to make a purchase, then I do get a small commission that does help me run things just a little bit more smoothly around here. So if you were to use those, I would appreciate that quite a bit. And also, if you like me enough, then do make sure to also follow me on Twitch, as I like to stream every Friday and Saturday from 10 p.m. to 12 a.m. and all of these streams tend to be pretty relaxing. And with that said, links to everything down in the description. If you would like to stay up to date with any of the Tech Summit endeavors, then do also make sure to follow me down on Twitter and on Instagram for any further news on the Tech Summit endeavors. So with that said, this has been Francisco from Tech Summit. Thank you for watching, and I'll be seeing you all later. Enjoy.